Great. Good day. And welcome to yet another episode of Schoolboy Rugby Bonanza, where we talk schoolboy rugby, and once again, schoolboy rugby. Jam-packed episode again. We're going to look at last weekend's results as well as the future game, of course, the rankings, and then also where are we going to go to our next future game. It's going to be a huge game. And then, of course, we've got another announcement of what is coming to in our next chat show episode of a coming interview, but that will be later on. Let me first of all introduce to everyone again, once again, the founder of Schoolboy Rugby Bonanza, Mr. Schoolboy Rugby Bonanza himself, Louis van Kopenhagen. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, Steve. How are you?
It's cold and chilly here in Gauteng, but it's winter.
Yeah, yeah.
Right in the middle of winter. That's why schoolboy rugby is heating up everything for us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Otherwise, we will be hibernating in our homes for the whole winter, but schoolboy rugby is keeping us warm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. So,
Right. Without further ado, let's go to our the coming games. It's been an incredible weekend, including the number one title was at stake between Paul Ruiz and Paul Gim. But we will also chat about that later on. Let's have a look and let's dive into the results.
right. So, in no particular order as usual. So, there we go. The very first one.
Yes.
Paul Gim versus Paul Ruiz. I was privileged to watch this game just after we came back from our day out. Oh, Steve, what a beautiful game of schoolboy rugby. Um, and from the get-go, Paul Gim really, they just went into fifth gear from the start and they didn't stop. Halftime, Paul Ruiz only had 7 points on the board. So, and from my perspective, the 9 and 10 from Paul Gim were really the standout players. They really marshaled the whole game, the whole back line. Everyone knew what they were doing, as well as the inside center of Paul Gim. So, and interesting enough, Paul Ruiz dismantled Office earlier this year.
Yeah.
They had a very good game against Grey College, all these other schools, and we knew what was at stake for this game. So Paul Gim really came out guns blazing, and Paul Ruiz had no answer, unfortunately.
Yeah, Paul Gim have absolutely stamped their authority in South African schoolboy rugby, and they have shown that they are most definitely the number one team in South Africa.
Yeah,
Incredible. I didn't expect. I saw this results. My jaw hit the floor.
yeah,
I didn't expect it.
yeah.
It's incredible. It shows
So,
you the class of Paul Gim, and they can rightfully say now that they're the number one team in South Africa.
yeah. And then Paul Boys High, 49, Boland Landbou, 21.
Paul Boys is playing better and better as the year is going by. They had some tough results in the beginning, but then they have now for the past 3 to 4 weekends they produced winning results, and it's as if they like wine. You know, the older the better, and the older the season gets, the better Paul Boys are playing, and they now
Yeah,
really at the position where they are really stamping their authority in the top 10. They're sixth at the moment in South Africa, sixth or seventh, and they're really showing why they are a quality team
yeah,
as the season is growing older, and that's where the depth comes in
yeah.
that I always talk about.
And then Stellenberg, 59, Bishops 5.
Yeah,
Um,
convincing victory for Stellenberg, once again showing why they in the top three, the top five at the moment in South Africa.
yeah.
What a season they've been having so far. It's been
Mm,
incredible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And Weinberg, 38, Bellville, 17.
Sure.
Yeah. Then Rondebosch 63, Milnerton 7.
Yeah.
So basically a point a minute.
Yeah, now Rondebosch showing, why they're one of the top schools in Western Cape.
Mm,
That's a huge convincing. And look at the result afterwards, Durbanville. They
yes.
also having a really good season so far. 71-0 against Melkbos.
Yeah. So that's a very big win. And also it seems they are on the up and up, which is a good
Yeah.
thing. So and then Swartland 52, Tygerberg 5. So
Hmm.
now we come to the
Noordwal.
Noordval. And just before we started, we spoke about this game, Garsfontein Monument, because we still believe
Hmm.
that they are the ones that will probably play in the final. But look what happened, right?
Yeah, it's once again my prediction has been thrown out of the window. I predicted a 2 point results between the Paul Derby.
Hmm.
And look at what happened there. And then Garsfontein's Monument, it was also, I also said it's going to be a close affair.
Yeah,
Number 4 against number 8 in South Africa against one another. But look at that result. Garsfontein, it's incredible. Whatever they are doing in their school, whatever system they are following, it's working because
yeah,
they are truly going from strength to strength to strength in South Africa. They are now currently at number 2. They've moved up
yeah,
right inside the top 3 into number 2 position with that convincing, incredible victory. It's incredible what's happening in Garsfontein, and you can only congratulate and compliment the coaching
yeah,
staff and the headmaster of the school.
yeah. Then Noordjewel 55, Rustenburg 33. Um, now look at this one. This is a very low scoring game. Ege Jansen 18, Hoërskool Middelburg 11. So very
Oh,
interesting. And then the other fairy tale story so far of 2026, Swartkop
yeah,
42,
second division.
Wismut 18.
Still my
Ooh.
favorite team to win the second division, Louis.
Yeah,
They're also going from strength to strength. They're 8th in South Africa, and they've so far been unbeaten in the second division.
yeah,
Haven't
yeah, yeah.
lost a single game yet. They're
Yeah.
going to go right through to the first division. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Louis, they're going to go to the first division for next year.
Then Nelspruit 28, Westphalia 15, Transvalia 28, HTS Middelburg 18. That's an
That's a good
interesting
result
result.
for Transvaal.
Yeah,
That's an
that's it.
incredible result for Transvaal.
Yeah. Then Petersburg 39, Ben Foster 14. Petersburg is also, it seems they are starting to win more of their games, which is a very good thing to see. And it seems they are also trying to push to climb higher up the ladder. So let's see what happens with the rest of the season, right?
Oh, yes. I think they're in the third division, if I'm not mistaken. So this is
Mm,
third division results,
yeah,
Petersburg. And of course, Lichtenburg finishing off with a 31-26 victory over Lichtenburg.
yeah. Then Petra Tief, 35, Marais 34. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a nail bite of a game. This is still, we are still not deep into the Noordwalk Cup,
Yeah,
further division results.
yeah,
Um, there's been some nail biting results, and it shows you why the Noordwal is such an iconic competition in South Africa, especially the Gauteng provinces.
yeah. And then Heidelberg 57, Elderain 40. Now that's an interesting result as well.
Yeah, I believe that's now the fourth division.
Yeah,
Now we into the fourth division of the Noordwal Cup.
yeah,
Um, Neighbors of Swartkop, Hoërskool Centurion also had a good, convincing victory against Midstream,
yeah,
59-36.
yeah. De Anker 32, Morensky 27, Potchefstroom 40, and Jeugland 35. That's an interesting result. I saw on Potchefstrom's Facebook page they they were very happy after this result. So it seems because it seems they've had a bit of a difficult season. So I think this is very good for them. And let's hope they can build on this for the rest of the season.
Oh yes, yeah, Jeugland in Kempton Park, located in Kempton Park. They're a competitive school.
Mm,
They've always been.
yeah,
So yeah, that's in for Potchefstroom a huge important result. And then we come to the battle in Northern in the Sharks, Natal Sharks province
yes,
against the Giants of
yeah,
Natal School Rugby.
yeah,
It's a huge battle. The schools there are incredibly close. There's about
yeah,
5 or 6 Natal schools in the top 20 right
mm,
now.
yeah.
And look at Maritzburg against Kearsley College,
And
24-22.
just to talk about this game, I watched this game, right? Um, yo, yo. Um, Halftime, if I remember correct, it was something like 11-7 to Maritzburg College or something. I'm talking under correction, but the first half was
Yeah,
very tight. Um, both teams, when they got a penalty, they did not want to kick for goals. They just wanted to score tries. So, and both teams' defense was very good. And they really defended well from both sides. And the left wing from Maritzburg College, what a blinder of a game did he have. He scored 2 tries, beautiful tries. Um, and even Kearsley College's wings as well were in the mix the whole time. And um, although he got a yellow card towards the end of the game, the fly half of Maritzburg College, but in my opinion, he was man of the match. He slotted all his kicks. That was number one. Defended well, and he just brought that back line alive. And when I look at this, I'm like, it's like Mani Lebok is playing. I mean, we know what Mani Lebok can do for the back line of the Springboks. And it was something very similar. It was amazing to see this. So, um, and the crowds, it was, Steve, there was not space for a mouse. It was jam-packed. The schools were in full uniform, war cries. It was busy. It was noisy. The parents, it was really wonderful to see. So, um, Disney College, actually, if right at the end they got a penalty and they didn't opt to kick for posts. If they did, they would have won. But they
yeah.
wanted to score a try. So, yeah. But a very good game, very entertaining. So well done to both teams on this result.
Yeah, I need to let your viewers in on a secret. I think you've now noticed that every time our beloved founder is adjudicating a man of the match award, he always gives it to the fly half. So I'm going to let you in on a secret. Louis got a huge love for the position. And in our rugby days, when we were still very young, Louis' biggest dream was to play fly half. At the end of the day, he ended up playing prop, but he always wanted to play fly half. So that is where the love for the fly half position comes in. So if you want to ask ask Louis who's the man of the match, or you want someone to appoint the man of the match, don't ask Louis because he's always going to give it to the fly half.
All right, fair enough. I will change it up. So The next one, Westville 52, Michael House 19. Now that's an interesting result.
Yeah.
Because we know what Michael House did earlier in the season. I mean, they beat Uffie's and
Yes.
Pretoria Boys High. So very, very interesting result. And then Hilton Northwood. I saw the second half of this game. Um, Very good game. Very, very good game. A running game. They weren't scared to throw the ball around. And the And afterwards, the embracing and getting together both teams and just encouraging each other, that was so well received from both sides and such a nice gesture from both teams. So that was very good.
Yeah. Yeah, and Hilton is one of your top 20 schools,
Mm.
knocking in the top 10 on a consistent basis. Yeah, the competition in the Natal Sharks province for the top honors to be the number one school in Natal is heating up. It is
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
still wide
And
open and alive, and the competition there is incredibly fierce.
oh yes.
We
Then
move now to the Eastern Cape results. If I can
yeah,
quickly take us through them.
yeah.
Hudson Park had a good victory over Dale College, 27-26. That was a nail biter of a game. Queens, 58-14 against Port Ridge. Selborne College, those of you could remember that the game against Great College were cancelled due to an
Yes.
epidemic.
Yeah.
This weekend it was on. They played against St Andrews, 24-21. And then we come closer now to the competition for the number one position. Graham College, one of the contenders, had a good, strong victory against Sterling, 43-7. Daniel Pienaar, 50-28 over Pearson. And then look at the last result, Louis. Kingswood, 77 and Western High.
Ouch. Ouch.
It
Ouch. Ouch.
yeah,
Ouch. Ouch.
it
Ouch.
looks like
Ouch.
Race School had a bit of a had a bit of a rest. They're still the number one school in Eastern Cape,
Yeah.
with Graham College, the fierce contenders.
Yeah.
Now we come to some more incredible derbies. Look at Pretoria Boys. That was an important victory for them, Louis. They had a bit of a tough few weeks,
They've
but they
had
have
a tough few weeks, right? And I think, especially against Jeppe, that's one of your strongest schools
yes,
in
one of the
Johannesburg.
top 20 schools.
Yeah. And also with the Golden Lions Craven Week team that came out, Jeppe is very prominent. So a very good result for Pretoria Boys High. And also, the people could see on our Facebook group that the beautiful messages from both headmasters from JP and Pretoria Boys High, you know, talking about the history, talking about why
Hmm.
this derby is important, and just the respect between
Yeah.
these schools. That is something amazing.
Oh yeah. Pretoria Boys, they were outside the top 40 before this game, so they desperately needed this win. And now they've jumped right back into the top 40. They are 59th at the stage. JP, of course, is 18th, was 18th before this match in South Africa. So
Yeah,
this was a huge, crucial win for Pretoria Boys. And also will give them more confidence for, remember the derby against Affis.
yeah,
The traditional enemies is still up and is still coming up. So they
yeah,
need a couple of confidence wins before
yeah,
that victory, before
yeah,
that
yeah.
match.
And then St. John's hosted St. Benedict's 43-19. St. David's 29, St. Charles 19. And then Kes and Helpmekar was cancelled. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
also because of epidemic or welfare issues.
I think welfare issues, as far
Okay,
as I remember. There was a statement from Kaiser's side that came out to say because of the welfare of the players, so they cancelled. So,
okay.
mm. Right. And then also just something very interesting, Riebeek Rand. 38, London 24. So
This is the Golden Lions first division, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
this is the competition before the Noordwal. So this is very crucial because obviously the top teams got a chance to go right back into the Noordwal
yes.
draw of the
So
four divisions.
there's a lot at stake for these teams as well, right? And
Yeah, you get your Golden Lions first division, and you get it. If I can just quickly explain to the viewers, the Noordwal Cup's got four divisions.
mm,
And then afterwards, you get your Golden Lions divisions, which is Division 1 and Division 2. So the teams that's in Division 1, they are battling out for a spot to get back into
okay.
the
Yes,
Noordwal side of draws, and to get
yeah,
back into a position where they can really now contend for top honors also in the rankings. So that
yeah,
this is crucial rugby.
yeah, 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 yeah. Right. Now, very interesting. Now we come to our featured games that we went to. It was the Golden Lions second division.
Yeah.
Um, and it was hosted by Hoërskool Bastion. Um,
A crucial detail also, it was the finals of the
yeah,
Golden Lions
it
second
was
division.
all the finals for the under 14s, 15s, 16s, and the first teams. So, um, very interesting. So we can see here Bastion versus Florida under 14s. Bastion took this one. We put all the results in our videos on YouTube so the viewers can go and have a listen. Um, but just to get to these games very quickly, this was a very low scoring game, but it
Mm.
was like, especially from both sides. I mean, yes, it's early in the morning, Steve, and you could see these boys were like, do we really have to be here? Okay, we will just play. The there was no real urgency between the two teams, and we were like, oh no, if this is going to be the benchmark for the rest of the day, this is not going to be good. But then once it started warming up, Florida versus Queens under 15s, Florida took this one quite convincingly.
Yeah.
Um, also, again, they were from the Queens side, they had no answer towards Florida. So, and then the under 16s, Bastion versus Queens. Now, Bastion took this one. Um, what an entertaining game. Beautiful running rugby. They did not want to kick for post because it's a final. So you either win
Mm.
or you lose. I mean, it's no log points. So whether you win by 1 point or 10 points, a win is a win. And that's it. So both sides played very good. Um, and Bastion were the victors at the end of the day. Then we come to the first teams. Now, this was really fantastic. Bastion versus Alan Glen. And also, what we saw from the under 14s, 15s, and 16s, we spoke about this during our videos while we were there. The passing was shocking. Up here,
Yeah.
down here, and like at the back, like, really? But when the first teams came to play, wow, phenomenal, phenomenal. Um, Passing was good, and both teams pitched up to come and play. Although Bastion had a convincing victory, if I remember correctly, I think 39-17 or something but I'm talking under correction. Um, but what a beautiful, beautiful display of schoolboy rugby for these young boys. They wanted to come and play. They were there, and you could see the hunger in both. Yeah, there we go. 39-17. That's right. So that was for the first team. Um, and also the other thing that we saw is that, especially from Alan Glenn, their two wingers really played well, and they've got gas. Oh, Steve, ooh, they've got gas. But yeah, a convincing victory for Bastion, and a well-organized day. Everything ran on time. There was
Yeah.
not any glitches. Nothing was or everything just went very smoothly. The only letdown, the only letdown was there weren't that many people.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, so that was the only letdown. But further, everything was perfect. We couldn't have asked for a better day.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Of course, Louis and the crew was there. Louis and his co-presenter Von were at the venue for the finals of the second division, Golden Lions second division. If you want to catch up some of the results and some of the updates, our short videos is of course on our YouTube channel. Global School Rugby Bonanza on the YouTube. So please subscribe and go have a look at the short videos that was presented by Louis and Von, of course.
Yeah.
And of course, this was a very crucial finals because of whoever wins got a chance now to go through to this first division.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it works, if it's going to be automatic promotion or if they need now to play out against the team that finished last in the first division of the Golden Lions.
Yeah.
But Bastion are now in with a chance
Yeah.
to get to go to gain promotion. You have to remember the history of Bastion. They were once ranked inside the top 100 in South Africa as late back as in the 2020s. They around about there. They were ranked as high up as 92nd in South Africa. They currently, we once had a talk with the second coach of Bastion, also on our YouTube videos. You can have a look at it. We had an interview with Bastion's second coach, and he said that the school has been experiencing some challenges. So they're not inside the top 100, but they are back again, and you can see they are really having a strong program, and they are challenging to get inside the reckoning of the top 200 ranked. And every rugby school team in South Africa wants to be inside the top 200 because that is where they get noticed. That is where they get invitations to play at the main festivals, and that is also where the scouts tends to look at when it comes to Crane Week and you know, to get contracts for this boys afterwards. The top 200, it's almost as if the entire South Africa is looking at the performances of the top 200 and forgetting that there's thousands of other schools that's outside the rankings, but it's also got talent. So every school is competing for the main honors to get recognition and to get ranked inside the top 200 of South African school rugby.
Now we come to your baby, Steve. This is yours. So you can take us away on this one.
Right. Let's have a look. There's been a couple of changes. It's absolutely incredible. Paul Gim, of course, with stamped the authority with that victory over Polwis. They have proven that they're the undisputed #1 team in South African school rugby at the moment. But look at Garsfontein. Remember last year, they won the World Trophy and they finished at 8th in South Africa. They now have jumped up right into second position. Before this week, they were in 4th. They have now, with that incredible victory over Monument, they have jumped up to 2nd in South Africa. Garsfontein is also a very young school. They were established in 1988, and it's incredible to see the rise of Garsfontein rugby. Absolutely incredible. It's going to be interesting, and I believe within the next 3 years, maybe even sooner, Garsfontein might very well become the #1 team in South Africa school rugby, the way they are going right now. Polwis is now in 3rd position. They have dropped from 2nd to 3rd. Of course, with that defeat against Paul Gim, it was a huge defeat for them. Stellenberg have dropped from 3rd to 4th. Office is inside the top 5. They are in 5th. Paul Boys have jumped up 1 position from 7th to 6th. And look at Great College. That's not a position that Great College is used to. They're always inside the top 5, inside the top 3, and they are used to even be the top school in South Africa rugby. They're now in 7th. We had an interview. You can also go back to our episode on our Facebook group, as well as the YouTube channel, where we had an interview with Great College's captain, myself, Louis, Arno, and Elaine. And he said that they believe every single game that they're going to win. That is the belief system. So for them to lose, it's a devastating thing for the boys. They're not used to it.
Yeah.
They're not used to it.
Yeah.
So, but you can have a look at that interview on our YouTube channel, as well as on our Facebook group in the future section. Monument is now in 8th position, same as last week. They are. It's great to see them back in the top 10. It's unfortunate they had a bad day in the office against Garsfontein.
Yeah.
But Monument are still going to challenge for that cup, and don't write them off for the Noordwal Cup.
No.
They've got a proud history. They're a proud team. They've won the Noordwal Cup many times before, and they're not going to give up. They are really going to be determined to prove that they can beat Garsfontein. So watch out for them. Oakdale, last year's Giant Slayers, still in top 10. They're in 9th. Waterkloof have also crawled into the top 10. They're in 10th position. Then Maritzburg, after a strong weekend, they're in 11th. They had a good victory over Kearsley College. Hilton also had a good victory. And they're in 12th. Outeniqua, 13th. Northwood had a defeat this weekend, if I'm not mistaken, Louis.
Yeah,
so they're in 14th.
Right. Yes.
Durban High, 15th. Look at the Natal schools, jamming absolutely cramped up. It's like busy. It's like Spitsverkeer, busy traffic. They are hooting on each other. They are right on the bumpers of each other.
Yeah.
Durban High School, 15th, and Westville, 16th. They are really hooting each other. They are out of patience. They want to kill one another because they want the number 1 spot in Natal rugby. Roodepoort, also in 17th, also had a good strong performance this weekend. Michael House, 18th. We all know what Michael House is capable of. They're inside the top 20. RTS Rotsi, 19th. Alkmaar hanging on in the top 20.
Yeah.
They're in 20th. Last year they were in 17th. So they're having a bit of an up and down season, and they're almost, I can almost say, I don't want to say it beforehand, but they're almost out of contention in the Noordwal Cup. They're in real trouble of not contending for a spot in the semifinals. They desperately need to win the remaining games if they still want to challenge the likes of Monument and Garsfontein, etc., for semi-final position.
Yeah.
Kearsley College, great to see them knocking on the door of the top 20 in 21st. JP have dropped out. They were 18th. They're now 22nd. Yeah. Wynberg had a strong victory over Bellville. They're in 23rd. Then the number 1 school in Eastern Cape, Grey High, 24th. They also are having a dominant season so far. They are really proving why showing why they're the number 1 school. They of course had a rest this weekend. They didn't play this weekend, but they're in 24th. Durbanville, of course, had a huge victory, 77-0 victory or 71-0 victory. We spoke about it in the episode. They're 25th. Graham College, the number 2 team in Eastern Cape, are 26th, and they are still knocking on the door. Yeah. Between them, any team between Grey High and Graham College can still finish as the number 1 school in Eastern Cape. Noordheuwel, 27th, and then the fairy tale team, of course, as we said, Swartkop, still in the top 30, 28th. Menlo Park, 29th. Sachs, 50th. And let's just quickly have a look, and then at the remaining positions in the top 40, Boland Landbou, 31st. Diamantveld, the number 1 team in Griqualand West, 32nd. Kingswood, 33rd. Nelspruit, 34th. Cares, good to see them also inside the top 40, 35th. Shout out to Dan Rousseau, who used to play for Cares. Dale College, 36th. Queen's College, 37th. Bishops, 38th. And then a new entry inside the top 14. Great to see them back in the side top 40. Pretoria Boys High, 39th. And then Parel-Verley, 40th. Yeah. Some honorable mentions: Kempton Park, Rustenburg, E.G. Jansen, Nico Milan, Hudson Park, Middleburg, Glenwood, St. John's, Petersburg,
Yeah.
all inside the top 50 are playing some top class rugby. And the gap between number 1 and the 100th position is incredibly, incredibly small.
Yeah.
It comes down to who wants it the most. But on the day, any of those schools can give one another
Oh,
a
yes.
huge right.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely incredible to see what's going on. Let's just quickly have a look at our next future game. Where is the crew going to be this Saturday, Louis?
So we are going to um help Makar. They are playing against Middelburg. So
Noordval Cup.
yes, Noordval Cup. We wanted to leave it as a surprise. So we didn't put anything on. Um, but that is the game we really want to go and watch because we saw both teams at the North State tournament. Um, and we had a chat with Middleburg's coach as well, while he was sitting with us in the crowd. So
Yes.
we would really like to meet up with him. We are we've already spoken to one or two of the coaches of Help Makar to have some interviews there while we are there. So yeah, I think it's going to be an epic day. I think it's going to be a close game, to be very honest. It can go either way. So whichever team pitches up, they will probably take the spoils.
Awesome. Yeah, of course, the crew, Louis and his co-presenter, Von, and cameraman Brian will be presenting that game for the viewers. Um, First division clash between Hartmachar and Middelburg, a must-win game for Hartmachar, but it's home ground advantage. So if you want to catch the action, there's two ways you can catch it. First, either you can watch us the live videos on the Facebook group. There will be some after every game and before every game. There will be live videos, updates, and maybe here and there interviews, depending on as the day goes. Louis and Von will keep you up to date, or you can catch it on Super Schools Plus, Super Sports Schools Plus, channel 216 on the DSTV channel, or even you can catch it on the web Super Sports School Plus website.
Yeah.
The game will be streamed there. So there's various options of watching that game for the viewers and anyone that wants to catch. Because I can guarantee you it's going to be a jam-packed game.
Yeah.
Stadium, I can guarantee it's going to be packed.
Yeah.
Hartmakar's got a strong history, proud record. Of course, my dad played for them in 1969. He was the wing, Willie van Staden. And Hartmakar is really going to want to prove a point to jump right back into contention. So it's going to be a huge game. So please have an eye on that. Quick mention them. Please have a look. Every Sunday or Monday, we've got a featured team of the week, Schoolboy Bonanza. Now, for all our exciting, very enthusiastic members that gets really excited about it and really upset with us when we select team. First of all, it's not an SA Schools team.
No.
Firstly. Second of all, it's not an official team. It's our team of players that stood out. Yeah. So no offense to players that's been dropped out. It's not as SA School teams. It's not an indication of players that's the best in South Africa right now. It's only a team to give recognition to players that really performed well in the games that we have saw. So if we go to a game where Florida is playing against Bastion and one of the players have really played well, we include him into the team to give recognition to him. It's not an SA School, so please don't get excited with us. Don't start insulting us. Yeah. Understand what we are trying to do. And of course, the viewers and the people that's always getting exciting and getting insulting is ironically also not members of our group. So they've got no understanding of what we are trying to do. We've never received any insults from the members because they know what we are trying to do. They understand what we are trying to do. It's not an SA Schools. What we actually are doing is we want to give recognition to players and we want to invite the viewers and the members to also select their team of players. And the rules is based on the matches they saw, not necessarily the best players, but the matches they saw and players and schoolboys that stood out for them.
Yeah.
So instead of
Correct.
being on the sidelines, being a spectator, throwing insults, get involved.
Yeah.
I'm a very straightforward person, so I'm saying as this, please get involved. Send in your team. So if you're going to get excited with us and you're going to get it all wind up, we're always going to say the same to you. Send in your team.
Yeah.
So if you are on our group and you want to get excited, remember our response always is going to be send in your team.
There we go. Yeah. So yeah. No. And so Steve, yeah, we are looking forward to this weekend. I believe Stellenberg, they are playing on Friday already.
Yes.
Affies won't play due to exams. I spoke to the school yesterday. We know Waterkloof will be playing as well for the Noordvaal Cup. So there are going to be some very good games again. And then it seems there would be a break until after the Craven week and after the July holidays. So last weekend for a big hoorah and for some fun. And then we will see how it goes from there.
Absolutely. That brings us to the end of our episode. Please join us for our next episode. I believe it's going to be tomorrow. We'll be having an interview with the coach of Florida High, Louis Vian van Heerden.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
We'll be having an interview with the coach of Florida High, Vian van Heerden, our interviewing panel. So please have an eye on that. Of course, Florida had two teams playing in the finals. I think on the 14th and the under 15 section. They are one of the strong up-and-coming teams in Gauteng schools rugby, playing in the second division of the Gauteng Lions. So please you don't want to miss that episode.
Yeah.
Of course, there's various platforms that you can watch our episodes. Either you can go and join our Facebook group. It's a public group, and watch our episodes. I think this is episode 33 or 54 already. Incredible. Yeah. If you have missed the previous 33 episodes, first of all, where have you been? And second of all, you can still catch up. You can just go to our Facebook group, go to the featured section, and you will see all the episodes, as well as our online magazine, the editions, the monthly editions of our online magazine. The link will be on our featured section on our Facebook group. You can also catch it up on our YouTube group. You just go to Global School Rugby Bonanza. It's on our YouTube group. And our Facebook group is, of course, Global School Rugby Bonanza. It's incredible. It's growing week by week. We are getting 30 to 40 new members on a daily basis. We are already touching the 1,800 members. And I want to say thank you so much for the overwhelming response. We have members now from all over South Africa, and not only in South Africa, but also in the world. We've got members from Kenya, Brazil, the United Kingdom, even Madagascar, of all places, has joined our group. It's absolutely Australian. We've got members from Australia also. It's New Zealand. So a huge shout out and thank you. Also the coach of Naji College, Sean Graham, is also one of our members. The world champions, of course, in school rugby. Huge shout out to Sean Graham. We had an interview with him also earlier in the season. It's also, you can catch that episode. So a huge shout out to all our members. Thank you so much. If you have not become part, please, as I say, become part of this Global School Rugby Bonanza Maniacs. Join the new phenomenon where we are not only promoting the main schools in rugby, in school rugby, and all the schools in South Africa, but global school rugby. All this, schools that plays, any school that plays rugby all over the globe. Our heart and vision is to promote global school rugby, long term and short term. So please become part of the phenomenon. We've also got various other platforms. We've got we're on Global Schoolboy Rugby Bonanza on TikTok, and Global Schoolboy Rugby Bonanza on our Instagram, and then we also got a WhatsApp channel, Global Schoolboy Rugby Bonanza, that you can also join. So please join our streams and become part of the phenomenon.
Yeah.
Huge shout out, of course, also to our workers. That's been our staff that's been working behind the scene effortlessly. Still as volunteers, we're still not earning a dime for it. We're doing it for the love and passion. Huge shout out to our fellow leader on the Facebook group and also our fellow leader at Global School Rugby Bonanza, Elaine Hogan from Ireland, all the way from Limerick. Thank you so much. She's an incredible, valuable member, hugely involved to promote school rugby, not only schoolboy, but school rugby in Ireland. Also part of the interview panel. Also one of our leaders on our Facebook group. Thank you so much, Elaine. Then also our journalist, Arno Botes, all the way from Pretoria. Old school, legendary journalist involved. He's also on the interview panel. When we interview the schools, he's also on the panel, as well as in charge of our online magazine with Louis van Kopenhagen, Arno Botes. Without him, I don't know how we would manage to get hold of so many coaches and even schoolboy captains. He's really a valuable member for us there.
Yeah.
Also, then a huge shout out to I've left her out last episode, and before she's gonna kill me, I want to give a huge shout out to Louis' beloved wife Sarah. I haven't forgotten about you. Huge valuable member. She helps us with the layout of the magazine. So thank you so much to Sarah. Without you, I don't know how we will be able to bring the magazine in on time, because she is absolutely effortlessly working behind the scenes to make sure that our magazine is always on time and it's in a professional condition. Thank you so much to Sarah van Kopenhagen. And then, of course, our crew for the featured games, our camera crew and our media crew. Huge shout out to Brian Dudley, our cameraman, legend. He's been at almost every single featured game. He's been present as our cameraman. Thank you so much. And then the same goes to, of course, to our legendary, the madman, as I call him, Mr. Von. That's also always at the featured game, helping Louis with the presenting, and he's growing from strength to strength. And then, of course, to our viewers that's always watching us, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support and for your comments. I would like to give a shout out to our top viewers. A shout out to Richard Wheat, that always effortlessly gives us posts, and also to Suzanne Fergus, that's also always giving us posts about school rugby wherever she can. And then also to Dave Schmidt from Brazil, that also keeps us updating about the situation about rugby development in Brazil. Thank you so much to Dave Schmidt. To our viewers, thank you so much. That brings us to an end of a jam-packed episode.
Yeah.
From myself and Louis van Kopenhagen, until next week, until tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's goodbye.
Goodbye.